Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Dr. Angel Storm. I'm the founder of Ashes to Beauty Ministries, and today I'm going to be talking to you about what to do when the narcissist is giving you the silent treatment. This is part of the cycle of abuse that narcissists use. It helps to strengthen the trauma bond that's formed between you and the abuser. And if you can recognize this for what it is, it's going to be a lot easier to really disconnect and disengage from this cycle and treat the behavior for what it is. So a lot of times when we are faced with somebody giving us a silent treatment, we really internalize what's happening, like, what did I say? Did I do something wrong? How do I get out of this uncomfortable situation back into the regular type of relationship that we have? People who have healthy relationships or people who have a healthy self-awareness are able to say, right now, I just need some space. I would like to sit down and talk to you about this, though, in 2 hours or whatever. There's a time they're able to communicate what they need in order to process the situation or the information that they were just given, in order to have a healthy conversation that's going to result in a productive outcome from that conversation when they have it. So most people are able to just simply state that, and then the person who's receiving that message is able to say, okay, I'm willing to, give you your space. With a narcissist, it's not so. The silent treatment is used as a form of punishment. It's used, again, as a way to strengthen the trauma bond, something that they already have a hook in you to use and to yank to get you to do whatever they want you to do. It's a form of manipulation, as well as reordering your brain to, again, believe some of the falsities that you have probably heard while you've been with a narcissist, that you may have already believed, maybe from childhood. You're dealing with the silent treatment. It's like, okay, I'm not worthy of having that person speak to me. I did something wrong. I need to really evaluate what I am doing. It's my fault. We tend to get into a self-centered or an inward shift where we start evaluating what we did, what we could have done differently, and we put the blame on ourselves. And that is one of the reasons that people continuously stay with a narcissist, even though that they've had many red flags, is that they continue to just think this really is their fault. Like, the narcissist is telling them, if you did such and such, or if you were better at this, or if you didn't do that, or whatever, that the relationship would work, that it would be healthy. All of that is a complete lie. It's a complete falsity. But sometimes when we've heard that so often, it's been going over and over in our head, and especially if we've heard it from outside sources. So if we've tried to get therapy, if we've sought counsel from a third party of some sort, and they've told us the same thing, like, yes, you need to do those things, you need to be more understanding, you need to be more flexible, you need to listen to his concerns, or whatever their advice to you was, you do start to think, okay, this is my fault. I could somehow affect the way that this person is behaving towards me, and this relationship is where it is only because I'm incapable of maintaining a healthy relationship. And so in the period of silence, when there's the silent treatment happening, it's easy for us to start going back through all of those things and letting all of those types of thoughts come into our mind and remind us what a bad job we're doing of being in that relationship, of making that relationship work. So in previous videos, I've talked about the importance of keeping a journal, and this is done for many reasons. There's a bunch of benefits to it, but one of them is so that you would have an accurate account of what has actually occurred, what is actually happening in your relationship. All narcissists operate on cycles, and I understand that there's many different theories about why this is, or even if the wheel is such a great way to look at it, because it's not so much of a cycle, but that they pick and choose different slices of the pie, if you will, and they are somehow using all of those tactics at once. And while that might be true, narcissists do operate on patterns, and if you can find that pattern, that's first of all going to be able to tell you, I am, really experiencing this. It's a real form of validation to your story, to what you've been living, even if nobody else can see it, because the narcissist has been able to keep everybody else underneath his facade, and to make sure that nobody really figures out who he is, so that you don't really have anybody in your corner. It's easy to have that journal to say, like, no, I know that I'm suffering from this, that this is a real thing that's happening. Look at these patterns. I can point to love bombing phase. I can tell you how long that's going to last. I can point you to the devaluation stage and then the discard phase. And so if you can get that all sorted out for yourself, it's really going to, first of all, shed light again on what you're experiencing, but also give you probably the confidence that you need in order to make a change, even a drastic one, like leaving the narcissist, divorcing the narcissist, whatever you may need to do. So journaling can really help you to build up your truth and to help you formulate a plan for how to deal with this moving forward. Second of all, journaling will allow you to really step back from what is happening and to have a full picture view of what's going on, because when you're dealing with a narcissist, it's often one crisis to another. There's always one thing to another, so you never get time to process the last 10 things, because you're always dealing with the one that you're currently facing, or you're preparing for another crisis that's going to come because you know that there's tension building and that you're going to face another one soon enough. So when you journal, it can really help give you that overall big picture as well. So you can really start to see, like, you know, it seems to me like every 3 to 4 months I'm dealing with this silent treatment, and this is really when my emotions start to make me feel like I'm not worthy. I really start to get into super depression. I start not being able to function in normal roles that I have throughout my day, or whatever it looks like for you, but you're gonna have a better ability to see kind of that overall view of things and to help you view the silent treatment in a different way. This actually isn't your fault. This is actually the byproduct of this mental disease that this person is inflicting upon you through abuse, through manipulation, and knowing your weaknesses. A narcissist is very good at reading people. A narcissist is going to be able to tell what somebody's weakness is within the first few times of meeting them. And so having somebody who seems to know you so well and then use that information against you is a horrifying thing, especially if you happen to be living with them, if you have children with them. And so having the ability to really take a step back and say, as horrible as this sounds, this is reality. For me, this is truly what I am experiencing. This person is evil. This person is doing evil things to me on purpose and is planning to continue to do them unless I put an end to it. So one of the benefits about the silent treatment phase that the narcissist is going to use is that it can give you the opportunity, the space to really evaluate everything that has been happening. If you can get out from underneath the condemning thoughts of, it's my fault, I could have done something different, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, done these things and then this wouldn't have happened. If you can get out from those thoughts and again take a step back and have more of a panoramic view of what is happening because you've been journaling, you're going to be able to have some extra space to truly process what is happening and what some good next steps for you to take would be. The reason that I like to talk about the cycle of abuse with narcissists is because they really do work on patterns. And so when you're in the discard phase, the silent treatment phase of dealing with a narcissist, it's also very important to recognize that most discards aren't real. They don't last. The narcissist is going to come back, and he's going to come back with the love bombing phase, and so it's going to be very intense. You're going to start remembering why you met him, how you fell in love with him, or whatever. All of those types of feelings are going to come along with his love bombing phase. Again, remember, narcissists are very good at reading people and understanding what their weaknesses are, and he's definitely going to use them to find a way back into your life. And so when you can take a step back, use again that space, that opportunity of the silent treatment to really look at what is occurring and to be able to prepare yourself for what's coming next, you're going to be able to use this to your advantage and not just suffering from it as like, oh, he's not talking to me, what can I do until he does start talking to me, or whatever. This is actually an opportunity for you to create more of a distance between you and the narcissist and to really formulate a good plan moving forward. If you haven't heard of Kim Saeed, I'm going to put her YouTube channel in the description of this video. She's got some great videos and resources on dealing with narcissism and narcissistic abuse recovery. And she actually talks about how when the narcissist she was married to a narcissist, and he was in the silent treatment phase of the cycle, and she actually used that time to go get her own apartment. She went and put the down payment on the apartment, and you know, the narcissist went through again his normal cycles of love bombing and then of devaluation. And so by the next time that the discard phase came around, the silent treatment phase, she just packed up and went into that new apartment. And so she used that time to really formulate a plan that was going to work for her. First of all, you know, she knew that she was definitely experiencing abuse and that this is how it would happen. It would happen in this cyclical period, and she used it to her advantage to plan her next steps. So she went and put the down payment on the apartment, but she waited to see, like, am I crazy, or does this actually happen every so often, that this is the cycle that I'm going to be facing, and that this person really doesn't love me, that this person doesn't truly value me, they're just using me. And so the next time that came around, it was the time when she used to escape from the narcissist and to move into that apartment. And one of the reasons that I'm going to mention her as a resource is because she talks about how you can use everything that's happening to you to your advantage, to build your self-confidence, your self-esteem, to build your self-worth, and to really do something with that for your future. And even though a lot of times it's very difficult to see, you know, the forest through the trees, if you will, absolutely possible to start using these little breaks as opportunities for you to really shift the trajectory of your entire life by making changes, by getting into a space where you can think clearly. And one thing I want to add in there, when the narcissist is silent, you should be silent too. You should be silent in your mind. You should be sitting still. You should be really trying to get to the bottom of what is happening. What is the next right step? Why are you afraid to take that next step? What would it look like if you did? What are some possible outcomes? You should be brainstorming this stuff, because that is, this break from the narcissist, when the narcissist is going to give you the silent treatment, should be used to your advantage some way. You should also be quiet. You should learn how to hear what is actually happening beneath the surface of your own self. You should listen to your soul. You should sort through your emotions. You should empty out some of the things that have happened to you in the past that you never had an opportunity to process. So instead of obsessing about how the narcissist is giving you the silent treatment, start using it to your advantage to sort through some of the stuff that you've already gone through and prepare for your future about what you're going to do next. So before I end this video, I want to mention one more thing. I'm on Quora, which, if you're not familiar, it's just basically a site where the internet can ask you questions, and then anybody who's on the internet can respond. So it's by no means scientific or even a good research tool, but it is a good litmus test about what's out there and what kind of things people are struggling with. And so this came up in my feed, and I love to read other people's responses before I give a response, if I do give a response. And I want to read you a response that was given by a guy named Axel Salvatore, and he is a psychologist, and he specializes in personality disorders. And somebody had asked him, what can I do when the narcissist is giving me the silent treatment? This is what he says. How would you respond to the devil giving you his silence in hell? You should not play his game, because if you play his game, you have already lost, and you have no idea what will happen to you in his hometown. So basically, you don't need to play games with your emotional and mental state. You need to get aware, look at how things really are, not how you want them to be, and you need to stop wasting yourself and your mind to play games, and find yourself a true, genuine person who will accept you the way you are and love you the way you are, genuinely. Playing games with the devil in hell will just hurt you in the process, and nothing will happen to the devil, because he is out there to hurt and manipulate people. You can't change him either. You can't control him, but you can change yourself. You need to do yourself a favor, learn from this experience, save yourself, and change yourself, because if you don't, you'll continue to hurt, and that's on your hand. You are a mature individual, and you need to make decisions for your own life. Wow, what a great paragraph. Like, if I could sum up what to do with this is it. Like, stop trying to figure out how to get the narcissist to do what you want him to do. He's never going to change. He's not changing what he is doing. He is the best at being a manipulator, at being a controller. And I've said this so many times. You will never beat the narcissist at his own game because he has so much more experience than you do at it. You need to change you. You need to change your behavior. You need to recognize what is actually happening and what you want from life, and you need to make decisions that line up with that path that you want to go down. So again, I hope this video has helped you kind of navigate what to do when the narcissist stops talking to you, gives you the silent treatment, you're in the discard phase of the narcissistic abuse cycle, and hopefully you've learned a little bit about how this can actually serve you, why this can work to your advantage to have the silent treatment built into that cycle. Again, I'm Dr. Angel Storm, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel below and then turn on the little bell so that you receive notifications for whenever I upload a new video to this channel.